Welcome everyone, Marcelo is my name. I love how, as humans, we speak in absolutes. It's like we've been on the earth for thousands of years and we know everything. About 400 years ago, there used to be a Dominican monk. His name was Giordano Bruno. He had a dream, and in this dream, he saw the universe and the cosmos, and that it was actually expanding and vast. He also saw that the earth was round and not at the center of the solar system. Now, back in 1580, that was pure heresy. That was contradicting the norm of the day, and as a result, he was burnt alive for being a heretic. You can actually see the statue of Giordano Bruno in Campo de' Fiori in Rome, and if I ever meet you in Rome, I'll tell you more about this particular statue, because why is he standing where he is, and what is he looking at in the distance? It's an awesome story. This whole Giordano Bruno, I felt sorry for the poor guy, but yet he knew about something that was not accepted in the day. Here's another concept. What about this life force? Sometimes people talk about that we're all connected through some kind of energy. Some people disregard it as just pure fantasy. Other people really believe in it. In Chinese medicine, there is a belief in Qi, which is that every material object, whether it's this table or the earth, the trees, and immaterial object, my emotions, my thoughts, generate energy and somehow connect us all. And that, if our Qi is off, then our whole system is off. I used to have a friend, colleague of mine, and she would come into the office and some days she would say, today my Qi is off. But you actually go, today my Qi is off. And you knew that she was gonna have a bad day, and so was everybody else. Here, Ormonde Jayne has aimed to capture that concept of Qi with Chi Intensivo by capturing that harmonious alignment, but via olfactory presence. And the opening of the fragrance is genuinely divine. So put aside that whole energy and flow and focus on the fragrance alone. It has an ability to bring sunshine. Whenever I spray Chi Intensivo, I get this burst of citruses and sunshine and happiness and the sense of, well, I was gonna say peace and alignment, but that then draws into the marketing of what the fragrance is trying to capture. But I feel that the two actually are integrated. I know that when the fragrance opens, you get a beautiful burst of citruses, and it's a lemon zest mixed in with these floral notes. The florals that never overtake. That citrus really dominates. As it begins to dry down, it does go to that fragrant tea place, and there's all these different elements, whether it be an Earl Grey or like a green matcha. It does have yerba mate, and that's when it now dries down. You're getting a wonderful, delicate, earthy sensation to the fragrance. There is a grounding effect to it. There is also myrrh, and I feel like I get a slight incense sort of touch. There's a sense of calming with the fragrance. There is also like a floral musk in there. It does go a bit musky in that base. The citrus notes that I experienced in the beginning are still felt at the end, and it also is that fruitiness from the osmanthus. You're getting this delicate, fruity, floral piece to it. There really is so many facets to it. It's more than just citrus, some florals, a bit of tea, and then a musk at the base. There's all these different elements that begin to move throughout the fragrance. I find that it's super complex, and when it comes to that tea-scented element of the fragrance, it does have those different facets. I think it's because of the early citrus notes and then that tea fragrant element. I get an Earl Grey feeling to the perfume. There's also osmanthus, and you get that slight floral apricot touch to the fragrance, but then it also then migrates to this slightly bitter green tea element. Its purpose is to calm your mind, to still your soul, to ground you. I do love grounding fragrances, sandalwood and things of that nature. And I find that Chi Intensivo has that ability to. There is a meditative process when it comes to preparing tea. I had an opportunity to go to Japan. We did a tea ceremony. It took 1 hour to have 1 bowl of matcha. And that was on purpose. The woman preparing it, here are the photos, she actually said to us that preparing the tea is more than just, drinking the beverage. But in fact, it's the whole preparation. She actually said to us, I want you to feel the tatami mat that you're sitting on. I want you to hear the stirring of the matcha, the rhythmic nature of it. She mentioned that as part of the Japanese culture, preparing tea was a moment to stop and reflect. Here's another tea ceremony that, as an Argentinian, I do every morning. Now, as I mentioned, there is yerba mate in the base. This particular bombilla here and also the gourd was given to me as a gift from George Zaharoff. For those who know the Zaharoff brand, George and I have become good friends. He was in Argentina. He knows I drink a lot of mate, and he was kind enough to gift me this. Now, for me, preparing yerba every morning is also a meditative process. The way you prepare it, and I won't go into too much detail, but you essentially pour in the yerba mate. You create like a little mountain. Pour in the water and let it sit so it can absorb, and then you wait and you pour in some more water, let it sit, let it absorb, and then finally you're able to fill up with water and put in the metal straw, a bombilla, into your gourd ready for the day. Now, I purposely put aside my phone so that it gives me a chance to think and not be distracted by things around me. It allows me to contemplate things for the day. It reminds me of things. It allows my brain to go, oh yeah, don't forget to do this and don't forget to do that. It's my chance in the morning to essentially boot up my brain and get myself ready for the day. So if you love tea in your life, the ceremony of preparing tea, if you love tea-centric fragrances, then Chi Intensivo is divine. It has this beautiful balance of subtle restraint, because the fragrance notes are actually not overpowering and huge, but at the same time, it has great presence and longevity and staying power. I get 9+ hours without a problem, and its sillage and projection is in that moderate to confident. People who are within my vicinity of smelling the fragrance. Easy, a unisex fragrance also. My wife loves wearing this. My son, a 30-year-old, also enjoys this fragrance. And when I'm wearing it, as I mentioned, that sillage at projection, Sandra, my wife, easily detects it. It's invigorating. There is a sense of harmony, a sense of calm when this fragrance is in the air. The unseen force, this invisible energy. True? Not true. Early on, I had an opportunity to film with George Zaharoff. I think the channel would have been about 500 subscribers, next to nothing. George had come to Australia. I was able to host him, and together we created this particular episode. I was so proud of this moment. I remember when it launched, I just wanted to tell the world. I mean, he was this little guy in Australia working alongside this, quite well-known and prominent person within the perfume industry. I had a phone call from a very close friend of mine. I saw it come up on my screen, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna get, this person's gonna tell me how awesome this video was. Turns out this person was so disappointed in me. Told me that as this individual watched the video with myself and George, couldn't believe that I was so arrogant throughout that whole video, that I was trying to big note myself, to make myself as big and grand as George Zaharoff was. Here I was, just a nobody, 500 subscribers, how dare I? To the point that this individual said to me, had to stop watching. I felt embarrassed for me and the way that I was behaving. I tried to defend myself, saying, well, George told me that he really enjoyed this video. It was a great, production. He enjoyed the time together. He was just being nice to me, was the response. Now, this thing played in my brain. It was creating quite a bit of heartache. Unfortunately, I had to get the job done. That very day, I was filming my very first mate talk, and I had to push aside all these comments that were sort of filtering around my brain because I had a job at hand. Anyway, the episode went out, the first mate talk, but I couldn't stop thinking about the comments being made and thinking that maybe was I so out of touch that I didn't realize that George was only being gracious to me, and in fact was very disappointed in this whole exchange that we did on this production. I wanted to call him, but it was very early in the US at the time, and I didn't want to disrupt him. Anyway, I sat down for dinner that evening, would have been about 7 o'clock, and I got this. This is the WhatsApp message. The question was, are you okay? And I'm like, it was almost like this weird, like, is this a movie? Like the Truman Show, sort of like, what is going on? And I responded, and I mentioned that, hey, yeah, look, I actually wanted to talk to you. And then he responded with this. 2 in the morning, he woke up thinking, is Marcelo okay? But I basically asked him, was I out of line? Did I? And he's like, push that aside. No, everything is fine, my friend. As a result, we have done further productions together. Actually, watch this one here. We had so much fun running around Melbourne. The point is, that here was this moment. I guess my energy was reaching out to the universe going, I need to speak to George, I need to talk, I need to ask this question. Are you upset with me? Did I do something that I didn't realize? And for somehow, George picking up that energy and responding back to me. Wild, absolutely wild. And I feel like this is what Chi Intensivo by Ormonde Jayne is aiming to do. The idea is that here is a fragrance and its scent profile, its olfactory character, where it calms your mind. There's a level of aligning your spirituality, and also it's quietly radiant. There is this beautiful energy that is omitted because of its scent profile. It's a gorgeous fragrance. So push aside all the, I guess, that marketing concept or that marketing element of it, and appreciate it for its fragrance alone, and it's divine. It's a beautiful fragrance to really calm your mind. Fantastic for the office, fantastic as a day-to-day fragrance. If you'd like to know more about all things Ormonde Jayne, you can jump on their website and order the Atmospheric, Fruity and Floral Discovery Set. Use the code NFC10 for a 10% discount. And then jump across to my Discovery series. I did a 2-part series on the Ormonde Jaynes, 6 fragrances in each, in which I go through them slowly. I talk to camera as if you're actually with me in the room. This allows us to actually share a moment together in real time. You can smell alongside me as I share more details on these beautiful fragrances. Hope you enjoyed that. Your thoughts on Chi Intensivo? Is it something that's in your collection? What about the other Ormonde Jaynes? I would love to know. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys all on the next episode.